Have a very wonderful evening, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, if everything works fine. Just a quick okay into the chat. Thank you very much. So, who's here? I can see some comments in the chat already. Thank you for everyone who has hopped on tonight. I also have a very young spectator here, my nephew, who turns 6 years old in a few weeks. I will greet him in German. Hallo Ali, ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. So, the youngest spectator here, and he is allowed to watch me live tonight. So a big shout out to my nephew Ali. And to everyone else, have a very warm welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're going to talk about 3 books tonight. 2 Murakami books, and also introducing 1 Mieko Kawakami book. So before we start with the discussions, let me know what you are currently reading. And let me know if you maybe already read the books we are going to discuss tonight. You are warmly welcome to use the chat to discuss live with us. I will also have a guest tonight here. Very proud to introduce him to you guys. So tonight we will also talk to my friend Leo, and we will mainly discuss south of the border, west of the sun, of course. But yeah, so it will be a nice evening packed with Haruki Murakami stuff and all about Japanese literature. Hello, Eric. Nice to have you here. By the way, what time is it? I'm not sure where you guys are located, so please let me know. It's 9 p.m. here in Germany. Winter has started. And yeah, it's getting freezing cold. Gute Nacht, lieber Ali. So let us just talk quickly about the books we're going to discuss, as I have already told you, but just a quick overview. So we got South of the Border, West of the Sun. In Germany, südlich der Grenze, westlich der Sonne, which is exactly the same title translated. But the interesting thing is, it has been translated in the 90s at first, and the title was very different. So back then it was called Gefährliche Geliebte, which is in German or in English, Dangerous Lover. So then we will discuss Dance, 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 which is Dance with the Sheepman in German. So it is a little spoiler, but yeah, most people know this book as Dance, Dance, Dance. And then introducing on this channel, Mieko Kawakami with Heaven, which I have just finished today, and I'm still processing everything in my head. So we're going to talk about this, and yeah, then we will go on with all this stuff. For now, let me just get Leo into the video, and then we are good to go, I think. I hope everything will work. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can see you. Let me just share the screen right now. I hope the connection will be stable. So
Here we go.
Yeah, there you are.
There we go.
There we go. Perfect. Perfect.
It's good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, nice to have you. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm kind of on a time constraint right now, but I'll definitely in here.
Yeah.
Always take some time out for Murakami here.
Yeah, perfect.
It's good to hear from a friend too, man. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Pleasure. So it's good to see you. For the audience here, we've been texting only so far, so it's the first time we actually meet each other. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm glad to be here and glad to meet all these people in here as well.
yeah, I think we'll have a wonderful night. For you, it will be a wonderful day, of course. But yeah,
Yeah. It's afternoon here. It's kind of muggy outside. It's really rainy out here, so I'd rather be inside, kind of,
yeah, got
I
it.
don't know, reading and doing all those things, right? Playing video games and stuff like that. So yeah.
So what you're playing?
All right now, I just finished Spider-Man and I just finished an Assassin's Creed game. So I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan for the
Nice.
longest time now. So yeah, I just finished I guess Assassin's Creed Mirage recently. So yeah.
So you were playing on PS5 or
Yeah, yeah, playing on PS5.
very cool, very cool. I would love to talk with you about games, but I think we're gonna do another stream for this.
Another time.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so I think we should start with South of the Border, West of the Sun, because I think that's one of your favorite books, as you've told me. Am I right with that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
When I said that, I was like, that's it's my I don't know, it's weirdly my favorite. Like I told you, the stigma on West of the Border is it's how can I explain it? A lot of the reviewers don't like it at all. I guess it's too airy for them. I guess if that's the right word to use. I guess I do like the airiness of it, but and like I told you, it's the most, I think, of all the Murakami, if I'm like my opinion, it's the most grounded of them all. I want to say a lot of the Murakami books are very, if you want to say magical or fantasy based, and
Yeah.
this is one of the like rare ones that is grounded and like one of the biggest things I could say for South of the Border,
Hmm.
it invokes a sense of nostalgia and a sense of nostalgia that I don't have for anything with I'm trying to remember what the main character's name is. Hajime, I may be wrong.
Hajime is right. Yeah.
Hajime, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Something about that story invokes a certain type of nostalgia, and I can't pinpoint it at all. But I think I like it. Like it's a weird thing with it that I like about it.
Hmm.
And but yeah, I wanted to ask you, what are your because I just read it for the second time about a month ago, so
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember some more stuff about it. But it's just only thing I could kind of say right now that I do feel from it is like a sense of nostalgia and like
Hmm.
groundedness and this airiness from it. So yeah, I wanted to see know about your thoughts and your ideas about it.
Yeah. So I just read it last week for the third time, I guess. So the first time I read it was in 2019, and way back then I had some sort of sensitive feeling about this book. So I don't know. It started off as a study about a real asshole guy, to keep it to say it frankly.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but as the story evolves and he gets older, you start getting a connection to his thoughts, which are somehow very grounded and humane. Because sometimes we do things that we don't want to do, but we do. And the more you spend time with him, the more you understand him. So maybe we could do a little breakdown on the story because I've seen in the comments that we have some people who haven't read it yet. So maybe we can avoid some spoilers, of course.
Absolutely.
I think that would be the best way. But yeah, so story starts in the 80s, I guess. No, not in the 80s. In 51, this girl, Shimamoto, which is his best friend. Yeah. And they have some sort of odd friendship, I think. So they share the same passions like music, books, spend a lot of time with each other. But the strange thing he is attracted to is that she has a small handicap. And this is a handicap that appears throughout the book. It means she has a what is it called in English? Because I read it in German only. So
I'm trying to remember what she had. It was a I don't know if it was a limp
yeah,
or her if I'm remembering her one of her legs was longer than the other. It might have been something like that if I recall.
yeah. And I got the feeling that he has some sort of fetish out of it because he keeps watching women with the same handicap. So and this was very, very strange. And
Right, exactly.
so the story starts with their friendship, and somehow they lose connection because he moves. I guess, or was it her that the girl that moves? I'm not. I'm not sure right now because I read 2 books afterwards this week, but they lose connection. That's all that counts. And and then he gets into a relationship with a very shy girl, I guess, and hurts her in a very, very, let's say, dirty way. And then he introduces us to some more relationships he has. So, and he always hurts people because he has this, let's say, all he thinks about is his own well-being and his own feelings without getting into their feelings, I guess. So this is this is the first thing that attracted me because you get a character that you don't really like, but he is the main character, and the story is told from his own perspective. So you get caught into some sort of double standard because somehow you care for this guy and then still you don't. Did you have the same feeling?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I had the same feeling. That's probably it. I don't want to outwardly say like, oh, I feel myself as Hajime right there.
Yeah.
But like a lot of his characteristics, like I can identify with, or I could sit there and be like, I see why he's like that. But there's a lot of I won't say instability, but
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't attach himself to one thing, and it's very like there's no roots, with him. There is no you can speak to him and ask him a question about anything, or he would give you like a definite an answer, and
Mm-hmm.
it's always like a mystery with him is what it seems like, and you could be talking to him and you can look right in his eyes and he's a million miles away.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, like growing up, that my grandmother would tell me.
Mm-hmm.
She's especially if I, was doing something I shouldn't have been doing, and I get called out for it, and I'm looking at her when I'm, getting reprimanded for getting in trouble, and I'm looking at her, and my eyes are, I'm thinking about the next thing I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I got from Hajime, and yeah, but yeah, as you were saying, like it's just he's not. Coming to, relate to him or to see what he's about, it's kind of difficult. It's difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Um, so when as the story evolves, we get some developments because finally he marries. So he gets the let's say he makes real intimate connections this time. So he gets married and he enjoys this life. And his wife has a rich father who helps him to open 2 jazz bars. And of course, it had to be jazz bars because this is the Murakami thing. And finally, Shimamoto visits him in one of the bars, which, let's say, turns his life upside down. And this is the moment he is able to get let's say, my real attention because he shows feelings finally. Maybe for the wrong person, in the wrong way, because let's don't spoil what he's doing, but we can. I think it's no spoiler if we tell the audience that he shows some feelings, some true
Yes.
feelings, and these passages are written really, really beautiful.
Absolutely. There's one like scene, I don't know if I'm spoiling it or When he finally, or there's one part where he sees her. I think they're out, out in the streets, and it's like the really time with him that invokes. He's trying to chase her down to see if it's really her. To have shown the lit was matched, or the match was lit,
Mhm.
and now finally we're kind of getting somewhere. We're getting traction for him, and now that person that he was longing for the longest time as as a teen and as a child and all this stuff, and we're finally seeing some emotion out of Hajime now, and
Yeah.
that's when it kind of kickstart all this, and then like she finally comes in, to his jazz bar and all that stuff, and so yeah, I think that's finally the moment where it finally kicks in right there.
Yeah, definitely. How do you like it, the writing style and the passages where he shows some emotions?
I definitely, I do like it. One of the big things is I don't mean to go off too much on a tangent. Like, one of the big things I want to do, why I love Murakami so much, I want to open up my own, cafe. And he was a big reason why I wanted to do that. And I think this reason why this book is a big reason why I want to open up my own shop like that. And
Hmm.
so with that right there, with that, like invoking that, like it okay, now a fire is lit in me, and that I guess that's how like I'm bridging the two gaps right there. Why I relate to him or this character so much because a fire's finally started.
Hmm.
Sometimes it takes a minute for me for a fire started me. So he's finally trying to. It shows that Hajime is finally trying to strive for something, I guess,
Hmm.
and that is her.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name unfortunately right now. I was listening to. It's funny. I was listening to the audio book about with
Hmm.
South of the Border, and I did not finish it the other day. But yeah, it's finally invoked a fire in him, and he was at this point. It found like he had direction, even though he had his wife and I think he had two little girls, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
and then he had his bar, but it seemed like nothing was still good enough for him. He had the lifestyle, and he was living like above his means as well. So
Hmm.
I think he had a decent car, he had a decent home,
Yeah.
but nothing was good enough for him. And so I kind of, as me, like personally, like I see how that goes. Like, and so with that, like involved me to get more into the book because like I could kind of find how I related to it a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. It somehow made a turn. You know, I just the way he describes all the feelings are so sensitive and intimate, but still full of love, which I'm not used to read of him, with one exception between adults. And yeah, it just it stick to me when when I made the reread right now. I was like, man, this is beautiful.
Yeah,
This is really really beautiful. And yeah, it's some sort of let's say it felt like the character finally has a relief and can escape from his daily life, which he somehow still enjoys, but his real feelings are stick to this character. And I'm not sure if we can call it a hook.
Eh, if the readers are still there at that point, it's a small little hook for the worm to get onto.
Yeah,
I would say.
definitely. If you would need to rate this book, 5 out of 5, would you give it 5 or 4?
Out of 10 or five
I'm sorry.
out of five.
Let's say 5 stars.
Okay, okay. For myself, it like I said, it is one of my favorites right now. I'm on my second read of Hardboiled Wonderland was my favorite for the
Hmm.
longest time. I would give this for myself a 4, a
A 4.
solid 4 for myself. I get the sentiments about it 100%. It's not, and it's not a love story either.
Mm.
I don't like you said, we don't want to spoil anything. I definitely don't want to spoil it for readers if they want to read it. I definitely don't want to turn them off either from reading it. but it's not. It's, to me, it's not a love story. It is someone, an individual finding themselves,
Hmm.
and you could. I think that in itself is beautiful, and I think that resonates with me, as a reader and as like me as Leo. So I think taking beauty from things that are all like most American comic books are open ended, and you can take out of it what you want to, and
Hmm.
I'm me able to do that with this one and have more of like a grounded feel to it, and something that is, I somewhat could relate to in a way. I give it a 4 out of 5 because it gravitates towards me. Especially I love mine. I wish I had it with me right now. I don't have it, but the vintage look of it for the American one is beautiful. I love a lot. So yeah, yeah. So it's a 4 out of 5 for me.
Hmm.
I thoroughly enjoy it, and I'm grateful for it. It's one of my favorites, and I'm in listening to the audiobook right now, and I will say, I get why people you don't care for it as well again because the audiobook, the beginning of it is very it does not it takes a minute. It takes a
Hmm.
minute for it to get to the story as well, and it's one of the things I probably wouldn't rate it as like a big maybe like a 4.5 out of 5. It takes like several chapters for it to get to his what he's doing and what he's actually like having a direction for. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Right. So, from your perspective, what are the biggest flaws of the book, if you can see flaws?
yeah, absolutely. And I definitely do. It's the pacing,
Hmm.
is very like I just said. It's very slow. It's very
Hmm.
slow to get started with. The this he has that he has everything. Everyone. A lot of people could ask for in life, but he's still not happy with anything.
Hmm.
And that I would just say those two things with me would be the only two gripes about it, and not even gripes, just the two things that doesn't give it a 5 out of 5 for me.
Hmm.
It's the second read with me was a lot better, but I could understand these sentiments that the reviews for it wasn't very high for it.
Hmm.
So that'll be my only two things. I'm currently going through Hardboy Wonderland again, so I think South of Border will be like a monthly read for me, maybe every couple of months to kind of get more. I kind of want to write my own things down about it a little bit more. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, Hardball Wonderland, you're due as a preparation for the new book, or was it just a random choice?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
You're rereading Hardball Wonderland right now as a preparation for The City and the Uncertain Walls, or is it just a random pick?
It's well, that was the first Murakami book I read
Uh-huh.
probably 3 years ago, and it was introduced to me from a friend of mine who read it in one of his classes. And so since it was the first one, it was the earliest one I read, and one I
Hmm.
didn't kind of remember so much again. And so I just picked it up just to read over again. And so like I had a bunch of Murakami books before, but I sold them all.
Hmm.
And now like I went to my local bookshop and I found all the vintage collections. So I'm ecstatic for that. So I'm just buying books over again. So I got Harbor Wonderland over again, and what is it, Wind Up Bird Chronicle and
Hmm.
Norwegian Wood. So I got all the vintage collections again. So I'm happy to read those again. But I for City. Can you hear me?
You were gone for a few seconds, so
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry. So the last thing I got was that you're excited for The City and its Uncertain Worlds.
Yes, yes, I'm excited for that. I haven't read too much into it right now. I need to kind of get the. Has it? It's released in Japan and in certain other areas. Am I right? If I'm not mistaken.
Only in Japan since April, and we're lucky in Germany. It will be released on January 12th, so his birthday.
Nice, nice. That's beautiful. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. So I made my pre-order a few weeks ago, and yeah, can't wait for it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I read another review saying that it's in the same universe as Hotbot Wonderland,
Okay.
but focusing more on the part that take place at the end of the world. So both books are based on the same short story he has written in the 80s, and yeah, I'm excited.
I'm getting excited too. Just hearing that, makes me excited, and I'm hopefully with some fresh eyeballs and fresh mindset. Like after reading Hardboiled Wonderland right now, that I can get into this one and kind of get back in and still be in the feel of the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful thing. So for South of the Border, I think we're through because I don't want to put too much spoilers, but maybe we'll have another review soon. How about Dance, Dance, Dance? Did you read this?
I did read Dance, Dance, Dance.
Okay, great.
I don't remember it too much. I that three trilogies right there. Was it the Wind, Sing, and Wild Sheep Chase?
Yeah.
Those kind of they blend in together with me a lot. I don't remember those too much, unfortunately, right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the thing with Dance 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 is what I noticed when I read this is that it's not really connected to the predecessor. So it's more of a spin-off. I think you can read it quite independently from the other books. So it does some loose connections to a Wild Sheep Chase, but still, I think you can read it quite independently. So the only things that were really important for the story were the Hotel Dolphin, which has I'm not sure if the stream is working fine. Can I get any feedback from the chat? Because I can't even see the chat. I'm not sure if it's working on your side.
I do not see the chat as of right now. Sorry, I'm on my phone at this moment.
No problem.
My laptop is.
Also, I'm not sure if the screen is shared properly. It's possible that my connection is so bad. I'm sorry for this. Just a second. I think it's a little bit better now. Anyway, I can't see the chat, so let's just go on as we did before. I think that was a good way. All right, so Dance, Dance, Dance starts with the thought of the narrator who is thinking of the Hotel Dolphin and can't stop thinking about it, and finally returns to the hotel. And the thing is that the hotel has changed a lot compared to the book before. So before it was a quite shabby place, and now it's a beautiful place. And he makes contact with the receptionist, who has a strange meeting with the sheepman from the part before. And the interesting thing about this book is that he wrote this as kind of relief from Norwegian Wood, because Norwegian Wood was a real breakthrough success, but it sort of pushed him into the corner of being a romantic author, which he doesn't want to be, never ever. And I saw that he made so many meta in the middle of the media generally. So he makes contact with an author called Hiraku Makimura, I think, which is an anagram of his real name. And this guy is simply everything he doesn't want to be. Did you notice it while reading? Or because many people said I didn't notice this hint, and I even noticed it when I read a summary about it. So while reading, I was like, strange name. And then when I was researching in the internet, I think it was on Reddit. They said, hey, I didn't notice it. It's an anagram of his real name.
Reddit definitely knows. No, I did not remember noticing that at all.
Okay, so I think this is a typical book which mixes a lot of magical realism and all the stuff he likes to push his characters into. So only daily life, listening to music, some odd conversations. But I think this is what we like most about Murakami. So I really like the book. I don't know what your thoughts about it.
Dance, Dance, Dance. Ooh. Like I said, I'm trying to remember, and I don't remember Dance 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 all that too much.
Okay.
Right now, it's kind of it's vague in my head. Right now, I got the rat in my head, and I don't know if he's in all three of those books right there. But Dance Dance Dance, I'm like I said, I'm drawing some blanks with that one right now, unfortunately.
No problem. Yeah, it's quite under the radar, I think. So but I think it's a good opportunity to talk
So
about.
I'm trying to think. The rat is in all three of those books. Am I right? Mm.
The Red Trilogy is
Yes.
Hear the Wind Sing,
Yes.
Pinball 1973, A Wild Sheep Chase.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and then we got Dance 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 as a spin-off. So it's more like a
Okay.
quadrilogy compared to the Alien movies. So we got Alien 1, 2, 3, and Alien 4 is,
Alien 4, the spinoff.
yeah, it's more like
Yeah.
nobody likes it.
Right, right.
Yeah. Okay, so but what is your, if not South of the Border, what is your most favorite book of him?
Like I said, I'm a big fan of Hardball Wonderland. Like I said, it was the
Yeah.
first one that was introduced to me, and I like the fantasy level of it, and I like the duality of the fantasy. One side you're getting the end of the world, and the other side, I guess, you're getting modern day
Yeah.
side with the character, and the whole like thinking process. What is this place of Hardball Wonderland? What is this place? What is like I'm trying to understand. I think in one of the books they have a map of where the character drew the map
Yeah.
in there, and like I just remember looking, I'm like, what is this? I like would go through the pages like after finish the chapter of that character who's in the just inside the walls. I'm looking at the map like, what is he drawing here? What is this? It like what is this? What is that? So Hardball Wonderland is one of my favorites. What's one that I recently just finished? I think I finished Elephant Vanishes recently, and I'm trying to think. I'm drawing blanks right now. I know I just bought a lot of them. Like reading them all over again. So right now I'm honed in on Hardball Wonderland, like I said, and I just finished South of the Border, and I want to watch Norwegian Wood again. And what is it? I think it was in the Elephant Vanishes. The burning
Yeah, the
of
barn burning.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Cool one. Yeah.
I watched the movie of it
Mm-hmm.
as well, and I think the metaphor, like it's one big metaphor,
Yeah.
and with that, it's beautiful, and like sometimes like. You know how a lot of people say the books doesn't or the movie never matches up with the books, but like watching the movie of the burning of the barns, it's I don't know, it's just one big beautiful metaphor, and it's so airy. It's so like, well, you can think what you want to think of it, and then that's it. But it's just like overall, like all his short stories. At first, like I was at a point where like I want to read just novels. I want to read his novels. I don't want to read any of his short stories. Like I just I get so hooked on like one story and then it's over in like 10 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got is it in the Elephant Vanishes? I might not remember too much correctly, but that it's just those feelings that it invokes, and not a lot of books did that for me. So that's why I'm a big fan of Murakami. It's just invoking the feelings of that, and reading other Japanese authors as well. So I know you got another book. What was the author's name again in the book name that you're reviewing today? Yes.
I'm not sure if the stream is crashing again.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Right. I didn't get your last part. You were thinking about the name of the author?
Yes, the other book you are reviewing as well today.
Mieko Kawakami.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So Murakami has allowed me to step out and read other Japanese authors as well. I don't mean to get off on a tangent here, but using him and the books that I've read with him has, one of my favorite books. Just reading other Japanese authors is what is it? Memory Police. It's one of the best novels I've ever read. Like it's one of my favorites, and just the beauty of these Japanese authors and like how they write is such a staple, I don't know, they just write with such elegance. And so, but yeah, to keep it with Murakami, those just books just really sing a lot to me. And then Colorless as well. So I mean, like I said, like I listened to your one of your recent streams about Colorless, and it brought back all the feelings and emotions with that. So, and like I was telling you with that book, and so that's one of my favorites as well. But that's the one the most, like, I don't know what it is with that book. Like, I will give that one out first, and for people to like kind of get. I know it's not the most. I don't know, grounded Murakami, or like what you're introduced to Murakami. Like I said, Hardboiled Wonderland is the one I was introduced. One of my favorites, I would say, maybe top 5 favorites, and just the storytelling with that, like and yeah, like I said, it's one of those ones that I recommend. Like, I remember I let someone borrow my Colorless, and I didn't see it for a good year. So
yeah, but mine is also in strangers' hands right now. So
hope you can get it back pretty soon.
Yeah, but it's a good sign. It means they're reading it. But you brought something interesting up regarding the map of Hardboiled Wonderland, which makes me think that the world building is extremely good in this book.
Yeah, absolutely, it absolutely is, and it's like. It's very. If I show you a picture of how outside my home looks right now, it's just very. It's very gray. It's very. I got a big field like across from me right now, and it's trees are coming winter time here, and it has no leaves, and I'm just seeing dullness. And what the map and what that character has introduced, and like the visualization of that, like reminds me of. That of the map he made of the area that they were in inside the walls that he was into, or it was just like a big woods area that the character was into, and he had to for his I don't want to spoil it either for anybody who hasn't read it. For somebody in there, he has to draw the map who asked him to do it, and so he's trying, and he's not allowed to, in a way, It's very ambiguous, with a lot of characters in Murakami's books. Like, when someone is told, I don't know, it's always in a way of like, you shouldn't do it, but I'm not going to stop you from doing it, and so it's a lot of those same kind of tropes in his books, and like it's a lot of just exploration in a way, and so and like with that, with the map in Hardboiled Wonderland, and there's just that one section too, like it was the most, and like I would say, like a lot of Murakami's books takes place in like what I would say the 60s, 70s, and the 80s maybe. This one, like I guess I think like if I'm in my head, takes place in the 80s, but I enjoy the more modern type of setting type of thing. So with me reading this for the first time, like the other side of the character, it feels like it takes place in more of a modern type of environment, and so that's what I thoroughly enjoy when I read a lot of times, like is the modern type of feel and wave of it.
The cool thing about this is I think while he is writing a lot of, let's say, it's not a real fantasy, it's more magical realism, he still manages to get these social criticism inside it. So especially if you take a look back on the time he has written Hardboiled Wonderland, he is still able to hide this criticism about the society, about the working society in Japan at these days, because this was exactly the time of the economic bubble and stuff. And I think there was a passage when he was talking to his shadow where he told him like when people are working and forgetting everything around them, they're forgetting their shadow and everything they really appreciate and love. And this was from today's perspective, it's very interesting to read, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Can you hear me? I don't know if you're cutting in and out.
Yeah, it was just out for a few seconds, but I can hear
Okay,
you. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what's beautiful about it. And like it's very up to date. Like it will always
Mhm.
be up to date, you know? And if you choose to like look for those pockets where you can, like you said, with the shadow and all that, losing your shadow, the working environment of, especially in Japan's, history and current Japan, like it's just anybody can lose their shadow,
Yeah,
and with that, and like the splitting of that, and with the shadow getting weaker and all that, it's very I don't want to use I never want to use the word sad. It's very melancholic. It's a
melancholic. Yeah.
very, yes, a very melancholic feel to it. You don't feel bad, but you don't feel good either.
Yeah.
And I see beauty in that, and a lot of people might feel I don't know what to feel. I don't know if I like it or not. And so that's the beauty of it to me. And it's gorgeous. Like it's like gorgeous. And like I try to read like a passage, a chapter or two every night, because I can't just read one and then like, oh, I can't leave the other character
Yeah.
alone. Like like in the next chapter. So I got to read both of their chapters in it. So the duality, and like I still, like me, like I'm still kind of like in like, are these characters the same or are they two different people?
Mhm.
So it's a very, it's I don't want to use, it's like a contained in world fantasy, and it's beautiful, hardboiled wonderland, and all that. So I would say, to wrap that up right there, it is right now currently my favorite number one still.
Understandable, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
I had my problems with getting into the book. I'm not sure what the problem was because it opened up with a very detailed scenery, and I think that was the thing that made it difficult for me to get through somehow. But after I was able to finish the first, I think 50 to 60 pages, it got me right there. And at first, I enjoyed the passages more that were set in Tokyo. But after the first half of the book, I was like, I want to read more about the end of the world, which
Right.
because it was getting more and more emotional. I think because the way he is talking to his shadow and also the end. I'm not sure. So the cool thing is we can always talk about Hardball Woman because it's so good, even if it was not the main subject today. But we need to talk about it. So
Yeah, I know, right? That's my fault.
no. It's cool. It's Murakami. It's Murakami. So
Right, right.
we're breaking the rules just as he does. So
Absolutely, man. Love it.
yeah, definitely.
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I talked to Paul, who is on the chat right now. So welcome, Paul. You're not too late. Everything's fine.
How you doing, Paul?
And I talked to Paul a few days after I finished Hardball Wonderland, and I was like, you know what? The ending was very sad. I was sad at the end. Um, Without spoiling too much, but the chapter with the lake, I think you know what I
Mm,
mean, right?
mm,
It
mm.
made me really, really sad. Yeah, even if the book itself was not, just as you said, it's more melancholic than positive or negative, right? And yeah, it was a passage I was thinking about a few days after that. So until today, when I'm thinking of Hardball Wonderland and the end of the world, I think of the ending the most. The way they say goodbye. So without spoiling too much, but yeah.
Right.
So I'm really excited how this will be part of the city and its uncertain worlds.
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. You made me more excited about it.
I'm even dreaming of it already.
I gotta see when it releases here. I think it might. If I did not remember correctly, it might have been this summer. If I was not, if I'm right,
So I read
Ooh,
somewhere around spring, late
around spring.
spring.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
this next summer, spring. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so most
All
of
right.
translators are now busy. So the Turkish version will be released in summer, also. Same for Spanish, and yeah. But I think after German, English will come first. That's what I got from
Can't wait.
everything. Yeah, I'm even this close to purchase the Japanese version just to have it on my shelf.
I understand that. I definitely understand that. It's just that feel of just having it. I don't want to be too greedy, but at the same time, like
Yeah,
I know the feeling.
yeah. The cover and everything, it looks so. I don't know. It creates a feel. I don't know what
Right,
you
right.
thought when you first saw it. It was. Woo.
Oh man, just excited again, man. Just excited to for another book and
Yeah,
just to see what he's doing, what it's about, man, and just to dive into it. I'll be confused. That's fine with me.
yeah. So the cool thing about this one is he took a lot of time to write it because he said, yeah, I was locked up during COVID, and then the war in Ukraine started and everything,
Mm,
and this all influenced his work. So I'm really curious this time. And also, the cool thing about Murakami is the older he gets, the more he mixes, narration style and tries more. So, and this is something really special because not every novelist can do that. The older he gets, so
absolutely.
you
Yeah,
maybe you're stuck into a routine, or you've read just as you're used to write for years. But he reinvents himself every time. So that's a cool thing. Uh,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, no,
yeah,
like piggybacking off that, like one of the one books I've read of his this summer was his what is it? When I talk about running, if
yeah.
that's the yeah, I read that and it took me maybe like a good couple weeks to read it, maybe like 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and it's one of those ones where he almost seems like a lot of the times like a character in his book. It could like be based off him, but it almost seems like Murakami. Like I'm not getting sometimes the real who Haruki Murakami is, but I think it's the beauty of him.
Yeah.
I know running is a big part of his life. One of the amazing things. He just the way he explains it is just so I don't know. It's like straight to the. It's not ambiguous. Sometimes it could be. You can think of it as ambiguous, but it's really
Yeah.
straight to the point, and it's really. It's just it's. I don't know. It just draws me in. I almost no matter what he writes, even though if I may not have the certain type of drawness to it, there's
Hmm.
something that's like what I need to kind of. I want to read this. I want to put myself in this world, or like maybe I need something to think about, So
Hmm.
that's where I get from that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a comment. Do we know if it has anything to do with Hardboiled Wonderland? Yes, it's the same universe. So it's saying the same universe. I think it's the same world, but I'm not sure if the characters of Hardboiled Wonderland do occur in the city and its uncertain worlds. But it's the same world. So the end of the world is the main part of this story, what I get from reviews and some interviews. So they are locked up in a city at the end of the world, and they need to get rid of their shadow. So just like in Hardboiled Wonderland at the end of the world. This is what I got from everything that is available online right now. I mean, it's quite difficult to, you can visit Amazon Japan and you need to translate the reviews, but due to these translations, you lose a lot of the real meaning. But yeah, that's so we need to wait. We need to wait a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh man.
So yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot because I've just finished it a few hours ago. Heaven by Miyako Kawakami. Uh, Not sure if you have read it already.
I have not read it yet.
Okay.
I have not, unfortunately, not yet. But it's on my list. It's on my list. I'll
Mhm.
put it on there.
Okay, so I bought this one in English this time because it was a Black Friday deal. And I thought, yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea to read this one in English because it was shortlisted on the International Booker Prize. And the interesting thing about the English translation is that it has been translated by two people. Um, so they shared the work. So one took care of the inner monologues, and the other one um, took care of the dialogues themselves. And the book itself is a quick read, so I finished it in a few hours. It has 166 pages only. And yeah, I don't want to spoil this as well, but it's really heavy. It's extremely heavy. So it's written from the perspective of a 14-year-old teenage guy. We don't know his name. Only a few names are revealed here. And this guy tells us that he is being mocked by his classmates. And not only mocked, it's bullying on a heavy level, really heavy level. And the way the bullying is described here, so we got physical abuse and so on, it's making me really sad. So, and he is contacted by a girl from his class who leaves him some notes on his desk saying, "Hey, we should be friends because I share the same fate as you." And the dialogues they share do center a lot around: do we need to change our situation, or do we need to accept that we are losers? To keep it roughly. And yeah, I'm still processing it. The things Miyako has written here are really, really sad. I haven't, it's quite heavy. You can trust me if I tell you that the passages with the bullying are very realistic, very grounded, and yeah, the way they try to accept their fate makes one really sad. But the very cool thing about this book is that it's so rough and grounded. So it's a real realistic story, sadly. And yeah, it's definitely something you should read. It's a really quick read, and I can definitely recommend it. Yeah. I also understand why Murakami said that she is
I'll
some.
write it on my list right now as we speak.
Sorry?
I'm writing that book down right now in my notes. I got a book list right here.
Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely read it.
All right.
Such a heavy read. So we got some new comments. Question: what triggers both of you to reread Murakami? And what book is your most reread?
Oh, you want to answer that first, so I can?
Yeah, you go first.
Absolutely. I think I mentioned it before, but I'm gladly I'll just ask it, tell it again. For me, sometimes I it's like with Hardboiled Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first book I read, and it drew me into the world of Murakami. And I what makes me read it over again is I don't want to say I tend to forget. The feeling was always there of like when I read it, but like having the feeling of like, you know what, I want to go back because I don't remember. Like I remember some parts of it, but like invoking the feeling again of when I read that. So with Hardboiled Wonderland, it was evoking a feeling again when I first read Murakami. With South of the Border, it was the groundedness and the realism in that book. And the second read made me, it bumped it up even more in my in my favorites of favorite books, not just Murakami, my favorite books. So it's just I want to say the nostalgia feeling
Mm-hmm.
for me of reading it before and invoking open endedness. A lot of people want things to have a beginning and end. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we don't get that in life, you know. And I think Murakami is very great at, you know, letting us know that not everything's a open and closed book, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Life is not like that. And so that's, you know, the biggest reasons why I read these things again, because I like to think, I like to process these things myself and just say, hey, that's just the way things are, you know, and
Mm.
things and how life happens. And so, yeah, I would say that's it for me.
Okay. So for me, to put it first, what book is your most reread? In my case, it's Kafka on the Shore. From of his works, of course, Kafka on the Shore and Killing Commendatore. And
Mm,
um, on my end, it's because I just want to get back into the feeling when I first read those books, and especially Killing Commendatore has a very special place.
mm,
Because it was one of the first books I ever read after a long break of not reading. So, yeah, it was it was a time when I changed my job, which was really stressed by the time. And it was some sort of relief I had at this time. So when I opened Killing Commendatore, I was like, okay, you're back at reading.
right.
And yeah, so the thing with him is he makes, especially in our age. I'm not sure how old you are, but I think you're
I'm a,
definitely younger than me.
I am 30 years old. 30
Okay,
years old, and it doesn't get easier
yeah,
saying
and
I'm
that's
30
the
years
thing. Yeah, and it makes you, it makes you feel things easier, things you cope with in life, and yeah, it's like, fantasy for adults. So
That's perfect. Yeah,
that
yeah.
that's the thing, which got me hooked. So yeah, Killing Commentatore, Kafka on the Shore, but I think South of the Border, West of the Sun will get into that list as well, because I really enjoyed the reread right now. It was the third time, so yeah,
Mm.
I think there will be some more. Yeah. And then we get another question: will you do a Dance 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 documentary? So not a documentary, but I did a review 2 weeks ago. Not sure if you watched it. So this time it was a little bit different. I sat in front of the camera this time, and yeah, I'm not sure if I will do another documentary, which is taking a lot of time, and not sure if I can hold the deadline again
Mm.
because I postponed it already. So, but yeah, it will be a huge video, and then in January we will have The City and Its Uncertain Walls, and this will be a marathon because I want to release the review as early as possible. So once I got the book, it's the German version will be around 680 pages, almost 700 pages. So we'll see how quick I can finish the book and then do the video, of course. Yeah.
When it comes to like I guess I know a lot of people that get intimidated by I guess a lot of pages in books.
Mm.
But I don't know. With me, it feels like I remember getting I have a Killing Commodore, and I remember looking at that. I was like, I can't wait. Like I can't wait to sit here and I guess have something to do other than play games all day. Let me
Yeah.
just go ahead and read or something like that. What's funny about that book? Yes, now that you brought it up, I still have it. I need to replace it. I got it for Christmas, I think back in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a dog, and whenever we set Christmas presents out, he likes to, we have a beagle, and he just likes to sniff
Yeah.
everything, and he's so food eccentric. And I remember I came back home after one day and Christmas presents, and he went under the tree and ate one of my presents up, and it was Killing Commodore, and
Nice.
and he bit that he tore that book up, and
Oh,
luckily it was just like the top part of the book.
okay.
And it's funny, like I still have it to this day, and I won't get rid of it, but I know that need to get another book because he tore it. I wish I had it right now. I don't have it at the moment because it's at
Mm-hmm.
my apartment. So it's funny that that you bring that book up. Tore my Killing Commodore book up, so it's funny.
Okay. So, but I think the English version is just one single book, right? Because it has been released in two parts here.
Yes, it is one single book for
Okay.
me. It has the the plant, like for me, it had the panels up front. It's like
Mhm.
blue. It's blue and it's a blue and yellow book, so it's a big, thick
Ah,
book. So yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I only got part two right now here. Part
Mm.
one is at a friend's house who
Yeah,
who said, "I want to get into Murakami. What can you recommend?" I said, "Just do it my way because Killing Commendatore was my first as well."
right.
I said, just go for it, and yeah, but it's already almost 1 year. But he said he finished the first 20 pages.
No, yeah, it's a start.
He should take his time. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, many interesting things. I think slowly, because of the success of the Burning movie and the success of
Mm.
Drive My Car, he gets more attention in other projects as well. So I think there is some. We can expect some more stuff and a bigger audience right now because um, it feels like there's something moving with his name. So we got a Sputnik Sweetheart stage play.
Mm.
Of course, Drive My Car, which made a lot of attention because of the Academy Award. And yeah, I think we can expect some more projects. We had another movie this year, Blind Willow Sleeping Woman, as an animation.
Mm.
I still wasn't able to watch it because it hasn't been released here. And yeah, need to wait a bit, I think. But
Well, I'm excited.
yeah, if you could choose a film, a book to be to be adapted into a motion picture, would it still be Hardboiled Wonderland, or would you like to keep the images in your head?
Murakami book or okay? Let me
Yeah,
think. Hmm. South of the Border would be a nice movie and how they would make. I think it would make a. Let me not say it would make a better movie, but I think it would bridge the gap between like I guess people who didn't care for the book too much to kind of understand it a little bit more.
uh-huh.
I'm trying to think how like a hard boiled Wonderland. It seems like it would be like you said, like an adult fantasy book, but it's to me it screams out like a how can I explain it? Like a Lion Witch in a wardrobe type of like something like that. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe I remember that book because I remember reading it in like middle school.
Mhm.
But that's what it kind of like screams out to me if it was like made into like a feature length film.
Mhm.
But I would say that I know Norwegian Wood does have a movie. I think it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say that Killing Commodore would be like a good little fantasy movie as well. I'm trying to remember. I read. I started it again. I think last year, and I did not finish it. I think I got halfway through.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think South of the Border. I'm trying to. Well, what is it? 1Q84 would be amazing as well.
Yeah.
I think that. I think that. You know what? That would be my choice. 1Q84
Yeah.
would be my choice for a film. I think it has everything in it. It has the fantasy, it has the suspense, it has romance, and that one for a feature length film.
Yeah. Same for me. Same choice.
Hmm. Yeah,
Even as a series, maybe because of
right. Ooh,
the size. Yeah. Would
yeah,
be. I think it's also a really mainstream story, but still with his with his elements that make him so special. But that's something I could really imagine to watch as a series or a film. Would be beautiful. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think we had a great time. um,
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for taking the time and.
Oh, thank you, man. Like I've been a fan. Like I said, man, we've been back and forth the last couple months now, man. Thank you. I to give you some praise, man. I remember just up late at night, man. I was just looking up Murakami on this YouTube, and I found your page, man. And I was remember I think I was like falling asleep to one of your videos, man. And it was I was like drifting off, man. I had a long day at work myself, and
Okay.
and I just got done reading, man, I'm trying to remember which one it was. I was like, it was just the ambiance of it. So
Mhm.
I just want to give you your praise, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, and I would never thought like I was going to be on here like talking about Murakami, man. It's just
Anytime.
it's a beautiful thing, but it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
And so I'm so grateful for you, man. I love this community that you built here, and I'm grateful for everybody that was in the chat today, man. And thank you guys for just being here and asking questions and all that. I'm here. I'm a big fan, and so I'm grateful for all this, and hopefully sometime soon and do it again.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime. Thank you very much for the kind words. Really appreciate it. And of course, thank you for your input. It was really nice to talk to you in person. And thanks for anyone who has participated in the chat. I think we had a great evening. For those who still got some daytime ahead, enjoy your day. And for the rest of us, have a wonderful night. And yeah, we'll definitely do it again. So maybe with some other topics. Just use the chat or the comment section which books we shall discuss. Yeah, there's some more nice stuff coming soon. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. Leo, thanks again. And
thank you. You guys take care.
Take care, everyone. Oh, we got a last question. Maybe
absolutely.
If you have time, let's go.
Let's do it.
Regarding South of the Border and Dance, can you see the author's growth? No, I think they're quite different. So, Dance is some sort of, as I said before, a stress relief. He just wants to mash all the things he doesn't like and just writes down everything he likes. And South of the Border is more his sentimental side, I think. I'm not sure.
So he's talking in Murakami or the characters inside?
I think Murakami, because he says, "Can you see the author's growth?"
Okay. You know what? I wish I had more of an answer for that. I'm like I said earlier, Dance. It's kind of vague in my head. Like I think when some of the points that you said in there, like I kind of remember it again. Mm-hmm. But I wish I can give you an answer on that. I just got done with South of the Border. I definitely have read Dance. Like I definitely have.
Yeah.
But I don't have an answer for that. Wish I could give you one.
Let's do the following. Let's make a deal. Once you finish Heartblood Wonderland again, you maybe if I don't want to crash your plans right now, but maybe you got time to reread Dance, and then we'll do another stream about this one.
Yeah.
Solely Dance, nothing else.
Here and like I said, I'm going back through. Yeah. I'm going back through and reading all the books I've sold, all my Murakami books. So I'm getting them back again. So now I think Dance will be in my next my next round right here. I think the other two I still have. I was going to read 1Q84 again, and then I have Kafka, and then I have Norwegian Wood again. I got all those. It's my vintage. And then I got Wind Up Bird Chronicle again.
Yeah.
So I will read Dance again. That will be my next one, and I'm looking forward to another stream so I can answer that in the correct way. Don't want to leave you hanging on that one, but yeah, I will definitely get back to you on that. Yeah.
Looking forward, definitely.
Absolutely.
All right. Perfect. All right. So again, thanks for everyone who hopped on the chat, and take good care of yourself. Of course, never stop reading. We don't want you to stop reading independently from the author. Don't stop reading. It's really, really, really important. So.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Signing out.
Yeah. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.